Welcome, punters, to our edition of Tipster. Mick Gannon, how are you, mate?
Mate, we're back. I'm very well. It's
We're
good to be back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big Brisbane Carnival ahead, and can't wait to rip into the show, see who's been flying.
Yeah, look, it doesn't end now, does it? I mean, obviously over the Autumn Carnival, just gone. Some of those standalone meetings coming up in Sydney at least, and the Bulls on about to kick off tomorrow as we record this. It's all happening, Queensland, and I think we're going to rest somewhere in July, but then we'll probably be just looking at who's going to make their mark in spring. So
no rest for the wicked, mate. Let's dig in.
No rest. And look, hey, filming this a bit earlier than we normally in the week, so don't have a market to put up in the old board. So obviously a bit inspired by Miles, who was a great addition to our last show last month.
Certainly was.
So we checked out the SEN site, and they had a list at the start of the year, the 2022 horses to follow. Only a little bit through it, probably about a third of the way to a half of the way through the year. And look, got the names up here, Mick, on the board. Give us some thoughts, mate. Who's probably called it well, and who maybe missed the mark, and maybe where are the watch that spaces?
Yeah, I think Hugh Fitzpatrick walked into a shocker there, so Profondo's probably out the door.
Yeah.
Won't be putting any money on that. Chris Nelson's obviously gone with Jonker, maybe had a bit of experience up in Brisbane, Jonker, but yeah, not for mine. I think, there's a couple there. Benz is on the money with Lost and Running. It'll be interesting to see how we go in the Everest lines up there. I reckon fair to say Tags has probably had a bit of a mare with Espiona this time around.
There we go. But hey, look, that's the game, right? We're definitely not knocking any of those boys on there.
Oh, tell you what, it's easy after the fact. If they put these up today, I reckon a few of those would be a bit different. So yeah, up you go, boys. It's an opinion-based game.
Absolutely. Hey, great show this week, punters. We have, of course, the Tipsters of the month for April. And what a month it was. Tough month, really. So hang around for that. Of course, we look at the top 5 punters and the media, and then we're going to focus on the media experts. Talking about media experts, we have some big names in the second section of our show where you're going to get early mail, early tips from some really big names in the industry.
Bigger than big, mate. Some of the biggest personalities in the industry. So make sure you stay
really
tuned
big personality
for that.
And of course, you're going to get their early mail. And of course, we bring them on when they're going hot. So you've got to find out how hot they're going. You're going to get some early mail. And also from a pro punter who has absolutely shot the lights out in April. All that and more coming right up.
Welcome back, punters. You are watching Tipster. And we're about to tackle a Tipster of the month for April. Got a pretty good list there. A couple of names that have appeared there in the past, but some fresh faces as well. On top, Damo, we've got William Franklin, 00.
Yeah, William Franklin. Look, this bloke's been in the top 5 several times. Actually, his name come up on this show in particular. Look, he's absolutely flying. Look, again, another great effort there. 87% pot. From the regulation 30 tips, so he snuck that in there. And we spoke about WA last time he was on the leaderboard. He's actually sort of extended his analysis to SA as well. Got to be one to follow. Don't forget, punters, William Franklin. Go to the search bar, look for him. You can follow him. You'll get alerted every time he tips.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive stuff. And I'll tell you what, though, he stopped at the 30, but there's a gentleman down there below, Tony Wallen tips, 91 tips at a nice little average price there, mate.
Yeah, look, and I probably should have mentioned that with William Franklin, $8.34. I mean, just got a couple of lists here, $74.60. Emerald Sun at Newey, Oceans Above 10.10. But if you think, that's why he's there, because he's got a couple of lucky ones, well, you just look at Pro.
Yeah.
And it's been there for a while for Tony, and he can punt this bloke. So again, looking for someone to follow, Tony Wallen's tips. Put it into the search bar, follow him, you're off and race.
Yeah, look, the strike rate says it all, right? Average price of $8, but they're striking at 20%. That's outstanding. And we've got Milton Rash in at 3rd, just made the podium there, snuck in.
Yeah, and look, Milton is another one who, people say, who do I follow? I always say, look, you can't go wrong when they're going hot as in the short term and also long term. Like you go back with this guy, 1 month, 3 months, go to 180 days and he's showing solid double-digit profit. Turns up in April, 65% pot, $8.90 again. There's that $8 average price again, Mick. So These blokes are absolutely flying. Well worth a follow. You're doing well. And remember, these are starting prices that we use, and we all know that the average fixed is going to make you much better off.
Outstanding, mate. We've got Vincent Wong that just sits there in 4th position. And you know anything about Vincent?
Yeah, so Vincent's with the South China racing publication.
Yep.
And of course, a great stable of people there, Ross Clark and the other guys there. And look, he's been going strong. He had a great April. Came out, and obviously we're filming this just early in the May period yesterday at Shah Tin. Had another great day.
Another fill-up.
Another fill-up. So again, Hong Kong tips, there you go.
Yeah, outstanding.
And
obviously rounding out the top 5 leaderboard there, we've got Basher 43.
Yeah, Basher's, look, always good to look at these guys. He's the only punter, so he hasn't hit the pro status yet, but always a good sign of a rising star. You start off as a punter on the site.
Yep.
And Basher 43 just could be one of those rising stars. Worth keeping your eye on him.
Outstanding. Well, kudos to everyone that made the leaderboard there. Pretty fair effort, and let's see if they can back it up in May.
Yeah.
Righto, punters, that time of the show where we take a look at the media tipster of the month for April. And I'll tell you what, no surprise to see Vincent Wong on top again. We did chat on him a minute ago, and if you want to get his stuff, top Hong Kong analyst. But in second, Rod Fuller from Sky.
Yeah, Rod Fuller. I mean, he's a bit of a jack of all trades: harness, horse racing, etc. So Rod's had a good month there. $4.14 average price, not bad because there's a bit of a stigma. You know, media tips is one of the tip favourites. For that matter too, Vincent's killed at $5.12 in Hong Kong. So yeah, a couple of good efforts there.
Yeah, if you're a sicko like me, you know exactly who Rod Fuller is. Just tuning in late nights. Steve Zammit in third. Just. Position the podium there, the Daily Telegraph.
I was going to mention with Steve, I mean, remember Steve's got a tip in everything in sundry, of course. He's got a tip, 3 or 4 days before, as they do for newspapers. But I remember having a little chat with Brad Davidson, and remember he used to be at the telly, and he reckons it has a huge opinion of Steve Zammit. Huge opinion. So yeah, look, certainly knows what he's on about. You wanted to be a jockey, apparently, Steve.
Yeah, I did too until I turned 6.
Yeah, that's right. You were overweight.
Yeah,
then,
go
right?
on. Yeah, go on.
I think Steve's got a similar story, but probably not at that age. But yeah, anyhow.
Up you go, Steve. There you go, punters. If you are reaching out for the old widespread, just get the highlighter out. Steve Zammit, he's your man. Mate, in 4th position, Anthony Collins from Sky, another Sky.
And look,
Tipster.
hey, he was top three in 2021 for the Sky Racing stable. Yeah, look, it's hard to back that sort of stuff up. He's 4 weeks in a row at the moment. And here he is on the April leaderboard.
Probably another one for the sickos, isn't it?
Mate, I'll tell you.
He has a few tips.
Well, he's got a few tips. If you know, especially where Ant's not normally calling in the big Metro meetings. Hey, why not follow him? Geez, you could do a lot worse. You could follow me.
Oh well, yeah, we could do a lot worse. And we've got rounding out the top 5 there. Huge effort from this guy, Cody Lane, who does feature in our free best bets articles. Does some great work. Most notably, he 141 tips. So if you're following Cody, you are filling your boots, especially in the month of April.
Yeah, look, $4.20 again, average price, not easy to do. So he's one to follow, Cody, and obviously gets in amongst the content there for us. So again, you can get him on the site, follow him on the site in the search bar, Cody Lane, and get alerted when he tips. Hey, there's another, obviously top 5, you've got to tip 30 minimum tips, all that sort of gizmo. So, look, wanted to put out a special mention. Actually, the Racing.com stable had a cracking day. We put out a tweet. There was about 8 or 10 of them or something. All of them made a profit. Nearly all of them made a profit. But look, Jace Richo's had a huge April, 65% pot.
Yeah.
At a $6.26 average price.
Impressive.
He's not scared to go wide. Look, it sort of shows they've got a last man standing comp there. I think Richo's leading that and Daylight second.
Outstanding. No surprise there. Richo's one of the greats. Not only is he a good tipster, top 3 media commentators, hosts in Australia. Do you want to have a guess who the other 2 are?
Oh dear.
I'll save you the time.
Yeah.
Bruce McAvaney, Jason Richardson, Lewis Willoughby, top 3. There you go. There it is.
Special. No, look, Richard does a great job, doesn't he? Clearly.
Outstanding.
Clear why he gets all the gigs. Does a great job and certainly knows what he's doing when it comes to the GGs too. So good on you, Richo. Well done. Look, that rounds out That rounds out April, Mick. So certainly, again, you know, the punters mostly in the top 5.
Yeah, and the rest of your media, just be a little bit better. Just lift, me included. Lift.
That's right. Talk to you and your mates over there at All In. All right, Mick, we've come to that part of the program where we get guest tipsters. Guest tipsters, early mail. So you're going to get these tips before anyone else for this weekend's racing.
Not just guest tipsters, mate. Guest tipsters that are low flying.
Low flying, of course. We
absolutely.
only pick the ones out, of course, who are low flying. And look, to kick it off, let me introduce this one. Kiiarn Holland, of course, she is a Queensland analyst with Sky Racing, and works with Chargy.
Yep.
She, you know,
Can't help our luck.
keep Chargy honest, and with Maxi.
Yeah, what about Paul Joyce, recent
Paul
addition?
Joyce,
And flying as well.
And flying as well. So, you know, she and knows the stuff. I mean, 6 out of 9 winners last week. You got to know something's going on. Of course, comes out in April and 20% pot. That starting price again, 20% pot. Outstanding. So, going that well, we had to talk to her. We got an early tip for the weekend.
Hey guys, I'm Kiiarn Holland. I'm a presenter and form analyst on Sky Racing. You'll predominantly see myself covering the Queensland provincial meetings alongside Paul Joyce. Look, I'm very open-minded when it comes to doing my form. What's on paper can be completely different to what you'll see in a replay. I go through every runner as well because I'm always trying to squeeze a little value into my first 4. I'm always comparing handicap relief or penalties because if you find one you think's been penalised a little harshly, and they come out and win convincingly, you know the trainer's most likely option is to have a throw at the stumps in town. And so you can follow that horse confidently, knowing it's stepping up and it's not without a chance as well. While I think stats hold plenty of weight, don't get me wrong, I think stats are more effective when doing form for metropolitan racing because it's a more even playing field. And things like track biases, times, etc. seem to stand up a lot better in that class, not always your provincial and country. Being out on track, I'm always looking for mannerism improvements into preparations with horses that are still slowly putting it together so I can forecast when that horse will likely peak. And I like to know my trainers as well because their different training styles gives me a measuring stick of how forward their horses will be first up or on debuting or how long they can sustain a lengthy preparation for and still race well. My last tool in my toolbox is I like to walk the track as well when I'm hosting. Just gives me a better gauge underfoot rather than just a rating. All right, I had a look at this weekend's Gold Coast Cup meeting. There's 2 horses I want to touch on quickly. The first being Me Lagarde. Last preparation, I earmarked her as a Stradbroke horse. She's running second up off a freshen up. Whatever she does on Saturday, she'll improve off of. I know we've all heard that before, but dead set, keep an eye on this horse over the carnival. And the other that I think will win on Saturday is Natuno, nice progressive colt, Tony Collins. He's probably a next prep horse because he doesn't yet know how to conserve his energy. He's got this great blistering high cruising speed, and we've seen him demolish the 2 fields up here both times he's raced. But, however, when they start clashing with the really classy horses from down south, they do get found out on things like that. So when he learns to conserve that energy and put it all together, he's going to be a big show next preparation. But I do think he'll win on Saturday. All right, thank you very much for having me on, guys.
There we go. So there's Kiiarn's tip. And, of course, keeping the theme going, well, maybe you can introduce this bloke.
Well, geez, to tell you what, we gave him a big rap early. One of the biggest media personalities in racing. One, Glenn Munsie. He's also a Bunny supporter. We can't hold that against him. But Munsie's kindly chimed in. He's going to give us a best bet for the weekend.
Before we get it, I'm impressed with Munsie. I mean, if you want to see how a good operator works, there was a bloke called Mick Gannon who was in some golf tournament, right? Now, I saw this stuff come out on Twitter, and they were asking for more markets.
Well, basically, Tab had a slow week. They needed Munsie needed his bonus, so they put up a market about me making a cut, and of course they all filled their boots. So that's fantastic.
Munsie got the job done, knows how to get the job done, and certainly on the punt too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a guru, and not only is he a good presenter, but he also knows his stuff. So let's see what he's got for us for this Saturday.
Good on you, Munsie.
My best for Gosford on Saturday. The coast meeting there is in race 4, number 7, Siege. Resuming from a spell for the Godolphins, had the 3 runs, was very impressive winning at Wyong, then Devon had a great deal of luck at Canterbury, went for a break and then came back to win at Goulburn. Importantly, its best runs Its 2 wins is when it sat back and come around them. It's got a wide alley in a 1,000-metre race with plenty of speed. I think it'll sit back and be too strong for them. Couple of trials this time in, a very sneaky trial at Warwick Farm, and was up behind the speed at Rose Hill the other day in the Oscar Zulu trial. It was hard in the market for the takeover target there. So race 4, number 7, best bet of the day at Gosford is Siege.
There we go, the big muns. The big muns, and of course we mentioned William Franklin at the top of the show, tipster of the month, not the first time he's been in the top 5. That is called consistency, and consistency in punting is a very good thing.
Without a doubt, mate. Let's see what he's got for us.
Let's see.
Hey guys, William Franklin 00 here. This Saturday, my tip I am going for is Ascot Race 2, Tiffany Street. Had a great win last trip out. It's got the experienced jockey in Morton on the saddle. It's starting out wide. It gives it a well-drawn barrier to run home, and I think this one can make you some money. I tend to do my tipping and my form based on the horse over the distance and barrier, depending on how far wide it's starting. But most of the time, I'd go form over distance. So that is why this week I'm going with Tiffany Street, Ascot Race 2.
All right, there we go, Mick. There's another show. Look, actually, I was just thinking a couple of weeks' time, we'll actually be at Doomben.
We will be.
Yeah, so for the Doomben 10,000 and looking to have a few beverages on that day in particular.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, a few of the GTO, a few of the great tip-off crew will be there. So, look, if you're out there, tweet or yell out or, whatever on Twitter.
Give Damo a spray. Just chime in.
Give me
just
plenty of people lining up, mate.
just,
There's a lineup
give him
bigger
some.
than the entrance fee into the to the course for that one.
I'll tell you what, I got a bit of a touch up for one of the blokes on Twitter. He reckons, he goes, "Oh, you blokes from Sydney, when you come to Brisbane, you stand no hope. Please give it a spell." We'll see.
Was that the punters or?
I don't know. Who knows? So come where you were, but we'll find you. We'll track you down. We'll find you.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to it. So we're heading to Doomben 10,000. So if you're up there having a punt, having a beer, jump on Twitter, send us a message, DM Damo. He'll open up the corporate card and buy you a schooner. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely.
There we go. But hey, it's coming to that time of the program where we've got to find out what mixed moral is. So,
tell you what, mixed moral. I'll tell you what, punters. So as we are shooting early this week, the mixed moral will be up Wednesday night on the Great Tip Off Twitter handle. I'll also chuck it up on the YouTube channel. But my mixed moral of the week is tune in to the All In show next week, Doomben 10,000 preview.
There we go.
Myself, young Lewis, Dean Watling, and I might even have a special guest for the show.
There we
but
go.
that is a special guest, TBC there. So there you
TBC.
go, punters. Tune into that. Do us a favour, subscribe, like, jump on. Damo sends out a few tips on a Saturday as well. Jump on his Twitter, give him a follow. He's pretty astute.
Yeah,
You're going good.
I had a good week.
Going
I
good.
had a good week last time I was putting him out.
Tell you, Louis is a
Yeah.
big fan. He's every
Yeah,
time
of course
he's around it.
Of course he is. It's all about performance, not about Anyway.
Anyway.
All right. Well, look, hey, punters, thanks for tuning in. Of course, go to the site, thegreattipoff.com. It is the site for horse racing tips, harness racing tips, greyhound tips. They're all there. Of course, the $1 Million Chase on Saturday night. Looking for tips there. Free tips. You can pay for some absolute guns. They'll have their packages up or hot bet them. You don't pay at all. It's all there for you. Until next time, keep safe, good punting, enjoy the Queensland and SA and Adelaide Carnival, I should say. Look, we'll catch you next time.